Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today, we discuss the Grand Seiko Spring Drive Chronograph GMT SBGC013, a 55th anniversary present by Grand Seiko to itself and its fans. Launched in 2015, this limited edition of 400 pieces combined Grand Seiko's signature deep blue color on the dial with a rare and early use of ceramic on Grand Seiko timepieces. The watch is black ceramic about its bezel and grade 5 titanium about its case and bracelet. It's an easy watch to wear on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. You can see that though it is a broad watch across the wrist and 50.6 millimeters lug to lug is broad, it is reasonably arced, cambered, and curved, so it wraps around the wrist. Now if you include the solid end links of the bracelet, it's a little bit broader still, but it's 52.4 millimeters. Considering the shaping is still quite reasonable, I could recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 14.5 centimeters circumference. The 43.5 millimeter case diameter is matched by a reasonably slim profile of 16.4, and I say that's reasonable because we've got a 3-day power reserve, automatic winding, a chronograph, a GMT, a date, and a power reserve, all in a watch that's 100 meters water resistant. So let's take a quick look at this bracelet. It's a handsome piece. You'll note there are traditional strap tool holes in the flank of the lug, so if you are inclined to swap, you will find that the spacing is 21 millimeters, and that's the size of the strap you'll want. But the bracelet's a handsome piece. My favorite detail is this transitional bevel between the hoods of the flanking links and their actual sheer sides. You can see that was laid down by hand finishing. Combination of polish and satin, and because this is a Grand Seiko titanium piece, you can see that all of the removable links are fixed by pin sleeve. There is one half link, and on the opposite side there is a second half link, so you can size precisely, but you'll also find there are a few different anchoring points inside the clasp, so you can fine-tune by both means. The clasp is a substantial piece, and when you click it closed, it cannot open accidentally. That's the advantage of twin triggers. Because this is a special piece, there is a gold medallion on the outside, and you're going to see that repeats. The swing arm internally is machined and quite solid, all of titanium as well. Jumping back to the case, Grand Seiko's famed tin plate or tin wheel polishing, which they have termed Zaratsu to tie it to Japanese swordsmithing. In truth, I'm not sure this is quite Japanese swordsmithing level artistry, but at the same time, it's not far off, as this is all done by eye, experience, and hand pressure. So how these bevels from side to side are manually finished and yet millimetrically identical, I don't know, but that's the advantage of experience and craft knowledge. You'll also note that because the case form is relatively complex, this is not the kind of thing that a CNC could machine, so it also defies those Swiss brands who are far too mechanized in the modern era. There's no equivalent hand finishing of cases at Omega, Breitling, Tag, and Rolex. You can see there's a contrast between the satin and the high polish, and it says distortion-free and optically smooth, as the legend has suggested. Now, you've heard things about Grand Seiko's Zaratsu finish, but you may not have heard much about Grand Seiko ceramic, because Grand Seiko doesn't make much of it. And back in 2015, this was quite the rarity. Deep black, you can see it has lacquer inlays. It's a tachymeter scale that can be used in conjunction with the chronograph to gauge the speed of an object between two fixed points, such as the start and stop of a kilometer or a mile. Now, the dial itself is what Grand Seiko calls deep blue. It's a matte blue metallic that is incredibly rich, and the contrast with the silver dial furniture and the gold accents simply explode. Here, less is more, and those few contrasting colors really jump off the dial against that matte metallic base. You can see there are sunken registers with all chronograph indications demarcated by gold hands. You have seconds, you have minutes, and you have hours. And then on the opposite side, a minimalist crosshair constant seconds, power reserve for the 72-hour power reserve down at 7 o'clock. And you can see at center there is a 24-hour independent second time zone that traces that 24-hour scale that's minimally calibrated. How about the Rayhaut on this watch? It's a combination of silver, white, and blue, and it's incredibly deep in its dishing and exquisite in its detail. It's one of many individual details you're going to want to appreciate with a loop on the dial side. That's right, you would want to loop the dial of this watch. Grand Seiko dial furniture is legendary. The logos, the hands, the frame of the date, as well as the indices themselves, they're all diamond polished, hand finished, and hand placed. And again, as good as any Swiss movement finish, albeit on the dial side. On the case back, water resistant to 100 meters with screw down crown and chronograph pushers. You can see this is a column wheel vertical clutch chronograph mechanism, and even better, it's a spring drive. So it features that unidirectional governing wheel that creates an induced electrical current, wakes up a quartz oscillator, and while a standard spring drive is accurate to plus or minus 15 seconds a month, because of the gold medallion in this special edition, this is not the standard 9R86, this is the 9R96, accurate to 10 seconds per month. So this system, accurate to 10 seconds per month, is a hybrid of mechanical and quartz. It has no batteries, it has no capacitors, it has no motors. The spring drives the wheel, the spring drives the hand. The wheel wakes up the quartz, and the quartz slows and speeds up the wheel to regulate the system. 50 joules, automatic winding, watchmaker built, watchmaker regulated, and when the time comes, this lifetime serviceable movement is watchmaker cared for. This is as good as it gets. It's even nicely finished. A handsome and sophisticated chronograph that happens to have a GMT, a gorgeous case, and a dial to match. You can see this 400-piece limited edition SBGC013 on the watch box.